I'm very sad about this. I'm quite unhappy. I have really been trying to look at ways in which we can open the schools as soon as possible. I consider myself something of a minister for children, as they don't have another voice. And I know that they've been anxious to get back with their friends, get back to the learning routine and other routine and other activities. So I am really saddened by the fact that we've had to do this. And I stress the fact that we've had to do it based on advice, but I'm not happy. I want the children in school. That's what we want to do and what the educators want to do. So that's my initial reaction. I know how much pressure there is on the children to do their online learning and how much some families are struggling to find the time, particularly when there are several children in the house and the work is hard and everybody is saying that it's much better than it was and how much curriculum content there is, but it's difficult to manage sometimes within the home. So it's something I didn't want to happen, but we've had to take this step.
To what extent did you consider the negative long-term, or at least potentially long-term, detrimental impact of a prolonged lockdown and absence of schooling in a traditional sense, where children go into schools and mix with their peers and see their teachers face to face? To what extent did that negative impact weigh on the decision?
To me, that was a major consideration. I'm very conscious of the fact that children need to be with their peers, need to be in school, and need to have the learning experience that we're used to. So that to me was absolutely critical. And this is why we initially postponed the opening from the 25th of January to the 1st of February. And we were still working and wanting to do it at that time. But clearly we have to weigh it up with what's happening out there. COVID has messed up so many things, and this is one more of them. So that was critical. And if it had not been for the fact that we really care about these children not being able to go out to school, perhaps the decision had been taken sooner. But we really had to drill down in really intense discussion with the professionals, both teaching professionals and public health and other health professionals, in order to come up with the best possible on balance, or rather the least bad solution rather than the best solution.
What implications does the decision to prolong the opening of schools have on the government's position in respect of the unlocking that was planned to start as from Monday?
There are other considerations, and schools are different. And the critical point is that because the vaccine needs a couple more weeks for the immunity rather to reach its peak, we could have situations whereby children are contracting the virus in school, going back home before the elderly or the vulnerable are as immune as the 95% immunity that we believe that the current vaccine gives them.
What's your message then for parents of these children who might have arranged their work shifts as from Monday for the next 2 weeks and will now have to rejig things or try to at work?
Parents, families, in another context, grandparents, everybody is chipping in. What I'd ask them is for solidarity for 3 more weeks. I think that's what I've got to ask.
I have to put to you that from a political perspective, Together Gibraltar called for the school reopening to be delayed. What would you say to that perception that potentially there was a political pressure that has led to this decision?
Jonathan, you know me. If anybody there thinks that the government or me would not have been considering very seriously all these implications and was waiting to get a Together Gibraltar press release before reacting, then clearly they don't know what they're talking about.